So 2020, we had Javon Kinlaw, bust. Brandon Ayuk lost his mind. We only had 5 picks in that draft. Colton McKivitz, okay, that's okay. Starting, man, we had no picks. We had 2 firsts, and then we had a 5th, 6th, and 7th. What the heck? Colton McKivitz, starting right tackle, serviceable. That's great. Charlie Warner off the team, not a great tight end. Jawan Jennings, he's okay. But we only had 5 picks. So that was a decent draft class, 2020. Now let's look at 2021. Okay. So Trey Lance, bust. Aaron Banks, overrated. Never really, I mean, he was an okay starter, but wasn't great in pass protection. He was an okay pick. Trey Sermon, bust. Ambry Thomas. And really what I want to point out here is how many misses the Niners, and this is why I hate the Kalen Black pick, because how many misses have the Niners had at running back in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round? It's incredible. Truly. Trey Sermon, this is the 3rd round in the 2021 draft. Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas, Jalen Moore. Ambry Thomas, Trey Sermon both did not pan out at all. Jalen Moore, he was all right. No, actually, Jalen Moore, swing tackle, isn't on the team. Was really just a career backup, 5th round. That's okay. Lenore, 5th round as well. Talano Funga, Elijah Mitchell, not on the team. This was an okay draft, but let's highlight, like I said, let's highlight that 3rd round in the 2021 draft. Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas, and then, the next pick after that, Jalen Moore. Another terrible 3rd round. 2022, we had Terrion Davis Price. We had Drake Jackson, not on the team. Terrion Davis Price, not on the team. Danny Gray in the 3rd round, not on the team. Spencer Burford, okay. He was a 4th round pick. Wasn't great. Took a long time to develop. Not on the team. Samuel Womack, I think he was a decent backup. I believe he was starting for like the Giants or somebody. Nick Sikel, terrible pick. Kalia Davis, not on the team. Tariq Castro-Fields, not on the team. Brock Purdy, of course, saved that draft class. And then the final one, 2023. This was a terrible one. Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cameron Latu. Jair Brown hasn't panned out. Jake Moody, we know what happened to him. Cameron Latu was off the team in 2 years. Darrell Luter Jr., career backup, nothing special. Don't ever want him to see a snap. Good special teams player, but not great. That's another 5th round miss. Robert Beal Jr., terrible. D. Winters, just traded him. Didn't like him. Braden Willis, not on the team. Roddy Bell, not on the team. Jalen Graham, not on the team. So those are like the last 5 drafts, and like maybe 20% of those players are not on the team. And when John Lynch asked about reaching for players in the draft, he said, and why last year's draft was a successful draft, he said, well, every single one of the players that we drafted from last year's draft is still on the team. That should not be a reason for a draft being a successful draft. And one of the arguments that I was seeing across the internet over the last couple days when everyone was going crazy after the Niners' 2nd and 3rd round picks, one of the arguments I was seeing from John Lynch defenders was, well, how have the Niners been so good for years and years and years? But if you look at the sharp decline of depth in 2019, the first couple years of the 49ers, the Lynch-Shanahan era, we had really good drafts. Core staple players that were depth pieces that we can quickly go over that too, but for the sake of time, we're already 16 minutes through the show, so I'm not going to go through that. I already just spent the last 5 or 6 minutes going through the Niners' last 5 drafts. But we were able to build up a core group of guys as well as depth that could come in if a guy was injured and play meaningful snaps for this football team. But over the last 5 years, we have seen a sharp decline in the Niners' depth. Where, yeah, we still have those core players like Kittle, like Fred Warner, like, who's another one? Kittle, Fred Warner, Colton McKivitz, I guess you could throw in there. We had Debo, we had Brandon Ayuk, but there hasn't been depth behind those guys. The Niners haven't had good depth that if a guy gets injured, some other guy can come in and play, a high level of football. The last 5 years, the depth has strongly declined. In the 2019 Super Bowl team, I remember we were one of the most injured teams that year, and we were still able to